Welcome back to I Want to Just Break Stuff.
Yeah.
Highline episode 136. Trent Davis.
It's been a while since
Riley
I've done this. It's been a while since I've done this.
Then what?
Fuck! God, I hate that motherfucker. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, I hate Ryan Priest too. He's such a clowny bitch.
He works for NASA.
He does. He does. Did you like me throwing that little thing in there? You be leaving like a Priest flip?
Yeah. That's a damn shame. Can you take Priest higher?
He didn't go that high this time, but he traveled further, I think. Upside down.
It looked like, did you ever have one of those toys back in the day? It was like a muscle car, and it acted like it
Hot
did,
Wheels?
It acted like it did a wheelie. Like you would run it back, and then it would go forward, and it was acting like it would do a wheelie. So the car would come up, but the wheels would stay on the bottom.
That's what it looked like.
That's what it looked like. It looked like his car was just going through the wheelie motion there. That one was a strange one for sure. But
yeah, because he caught air, and then the car just continued to ascend.
yeah, that one was
weird.
That one was strange. I don't think I've ever seen one flip like that before.
It just had to be Priest.
Yeah,
had to be a.
Of course it did.
It's weird. Your name's Ryan. You're gonna flip at Daytona.
Yep, just the way it is. Blaney hadn't flipped yet, has he?
Maybe not. I thought he might have flipped at Talladega one time.
Yeah, but
I don't think Daytona. I don't remember. He's the lucky Ryan out of the bunch.
But damn,
Ryan Sieg, he's flipped there, I think.
sure, yeah. What a shitty day Sunday was. I mean, every fucking year, I get
Seems
so
like it.
excited for this damn race, and it gets fucking rained out for 6 hours.
Yeah, you were very happy. You were very excited all week.
And then the race starts, and they ride around at fucking 3/4 throttle, saving fuel, and it's boring as fuck. And then come down to the end, one or two or three of my guys get involved in a wreck and have no shot at winning the race. This year, luckily, Chris was running 10th on the last lap. So,
Hell yeah.
hey,
Top 10, solid points.
Let's go. But no shot
Hey,
any of my guys.
Good way
win
to
the
start is a championship 4 run.
Let's go. But no, my guys got no shot at winning the damn race. And then fucking out of nowhere, you get fucking Morgan Shepherd or some random motherfucker winning the damn race that has no fucking business winning the race.
Morgan Shepherd. Where'd he come from?
I'm just like, where the fuck did William come from? 7th.
His mother.
He was in 7th. He was in 7th halfway down the backstretch, and he won by a quarter mile.
They didn't throw the caution, though. They let the thing. They let him race back, but God forbid on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's
threw
just,
it immediately coming to the checkered.
It's
like,
just
what the
a
hell?
fucking
It's a fucking disgrace.
It is, and it's super frustrating.
Probably the name of the title.
It's supposed to be the most important race of the year, but it's been reduced to fucking saving fuel for 75% of it, and then people just wrecking each other at the end, and some random motherfucker that doesn't deserve to win the race wins the race. It's infuriating.
Good
It's
way to put it.
infuriating. And I'm not saying William Byron's not a good race car driver, because he is. He deserves to be in the 24 car. He deserves to be out there running. He deserves a couple of the wins that he has. The first one he had in the July race at Daytona, he earned that one. I don't like how he earned last year's, but he earned that one. But Atlanta,
When we were there.
when we were there,
He earned the first Atlanta win. When the first race of that car, of the configuration, he earned that one.
did he win that race?
Yeah, he won the first
He's only
Atlanta.
got 4 drafting track wins, I thought.
Got 2 Daytona and 2. No, he's got 5 now. Summer, July, 2 Daytona 500s, 2 Atlantas.
I don't remember that first one, but the one we were at, he didn't earn it. And, you know, you can look back at Ricky, probably didn't earn the one he won. You can look at Michael McDowell, didn't earn the one he won. You can look at Denny Hamlin, didn't earn the one. Now, granted, that's probably the one that's been earned the most out of the last 5 years, but the one that Newman about died in.
Cindric's a couple years is the first Cindric's.
Cindric's was okay, but even then, like, he sucks. Like, he's not a good race car driver.
He's Michael Waltrip of the modern day.
He's got 2 wins. Both of them, one of them's a drafting track. One of them he won because the guy that was leading by half a lap ran out of gas. So, like, we'll get into this a little bit into the next.
Yeah, we got plenty of time to talk
But
about
like,
that.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
I know we said on the TikTok, I was drunk. That race fucking sucked. That race was terrible. It was a 0 out of fucking 10. It's bullshit, and I'm tired of it. Literally riding around there.
It's just one of those days.
Riding around there for 180 laps saving fuel. Why? It's a fucking race. Like, I don't want to watch cars riding around there at the same speed in the draft that they would be doing by themselves in qualifying. That's dumb. It's dumb. That's not racing. And when they do that, that's the only time the third line ever works, is when the guys at the front decide that they don't want to race. The third line can work. But once you get up there, you can't go anywhere because it's 3x3x3, and nobody wants to pull out a line because you're going to lose 20 miles an hour trying to pass somebody. It's dumb. The race was boring, and then it was bullshit. You can have one or the other, but you can't have both. And it's just, like I said, it's frustrating to watch the most important race of the year get reduced to that. And you're just waiting for somebody to pull out a line for half the race. And it never happens. And then that third line gets going, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe something can happen. But I know, everybody that actually watches NASCAR knows. Now, if you're watching that and you don't know NASCAR and you think this is interesting, you're just dumb because they're not racing. Anybody that knows anything about the sport knows they're not racing. And
there's one comparison that I could say maybe, but the problem is they don't do this the whole time. In football, when you have a big lead, not a big lead, but a decent-sized lead in the fourth quarter, and you're trying to kill the clock and, be conservative, is that a good comparison? But I know they don't do that the whole time. But is that the NASCAR equivalency of that?
No, and the reason it is, I get what you're saying, but the reason it isn't is because the game's already over at that point.
Could be, yeah.
In NASCAR, you're supposed to be positioning yourself for the end, right? And you can't, because if you're riding fifth, you're stuck in fifth. And you can't, even though you're only going 60% throttle at most, you can't pass anybody. You can't go anywhere. You're stuck, and you have to do it because of the way that the stages are laid out. And it's just boring. It's boring. It's boring to watch, and to the uneducated, it might appear interesting. But if you actually know what you're doing, it's a facade. It's not real. And it's going to come down to Joey Logano trying to put, 8 inches in a 6-inch hole. It's going to come down to, somebody beating the back bumper off of Denny Hamlin and driving through him 10 mile an hour too fast and wrecking the entire field, and some random motherfucker winning the race, because it always does. So even if it is interesting, it's going to be dumb at the end. So you can't even look forward to the end of the race because it's going to be bullshit. The only thing that I was looking forward to the whole race was green flag pit stops, because that's the only time the field gets spread out and they actually start racing.
And we didn't even get that.
And you didn't even get that because there was debris cautions, and I still ain't seen what fucking debris they picked up off the track.
Do you think they do? Do you think they throw those debris cautions because they know they're saving fuel, and they get to a point
where they get
all right, they don't have to save fuel now. We are good. If they pit on this caution,
they will quit saving fuel and they'll race.
They're going to race.
Yes, that's why they did it.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And, like I said, people are going to come after me. I know they are. If you post this shit on TikTok or whatever, I know people are going to come after me and say, oh, well, you just hate Hendrick and you're a fucking Ford fanboy and your guy's wrecked. That's why you're mad. William Byron's the greatest thing since sliced bread. That was the 10 out of 10. That's the best Daytona 500 I've ever watched.
There hadn't been a lot of that. There's only been like one or two out of the stuff that we've posted. People have commented. A lot of people did not like the race.
It's not true. And, people will say, I'm already preparing for you can't say William Byron's lucky. The champion was lucky last year. He won the championship race. Now we can have a discussion about whether or not he deserved to be in the championship race. But he won the championship race. He had the second best car in the race. And he earned that win. William Byron was running 7th with a mile to go.
Rather be lucky than good.
A wreck happens in front of him, and doing what he has to do, I don't blame him for doing this. He literally closes his eyes, keeps his foot on the floor, and hopes he makes it out on the other side, because that's what he has to do. And like I said, I'm not blaming him for doing that, but he did not earn the win. And the reason I know he didn't earn the win is because he said as much on Dale Jr.'s podcast. He said he didn't even want to celebrate the win because of how he won it. And then he realized, these things don't come easily. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have celebrated, because I would have. But he knew he didn't earn it when it happened. He didn't even want to celebrate. He didn't know how to feel about winning that race. And it's the biggest race of the year. You should get out of that car and feel like you just conquered the world. And he didn't, because he didn't. It fell into his lap like it does way too often in the Daytona 500 and at Talladega and at Atlanta. In Atlanta, not as much, but it was a bad product, and NASCAR has a serious problem on their hands, because real NASCAR fans, the ones that they have forgotten about for the last 20 years, people that actually care about the sport, are tired of it. Dale Jr. said on his podcast that all he cared about was making the race and getting his car. Once the green flag flew and his car took the green flag, he did not care what happened, because he knows how that race goes. That's not good that you have the most popular person in your sport owning a car, and he doesn't even care about the end of the race, because he knows it's a crapshoot. And whatever happens just happens, and they've got 10% of what happens is in his control, or his driver's control. That's not racing. And it's super frustrating, and NASCAR is going to do nothing about it. That's what's even more. I don't even know if NASCAR thinks that they have a problem. And
well, I think they do, because they were throwing those phantom cautions. They know saving fuel and all that stuff is not good. Yeah. So I think they do realize they got a problem. You got it. That's it.
I mean, I got a lot more, but I'm trying to save it for the next.
I was about to say, you pretty much went on a tangent there and had a Riley rant in a while. Probably since
Austin Dillon.
Richmond.
Probably.
I was about to say Richmond, maybe. Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. It's frustrating. The race felt kind of fake. And Eric Estep said something very interesting on his race review. He said, "Man, I was kind of, because he went to the Daytona 500, went to Daytona this weekend for all the festivities. He's like, he woke up Sunday morning. He said this on his race review video. He said, yeah, I was kind of just dreading today, because I know how this race is nowadays." And he's right. And he said it himself. He's like, the Daytona 500 doesn't feel as special anymore. And it doesn't.
It's just another race.
It pretty much is. Now, the good thing is, a lot of people still think of the Daytona 500, the casual fans think of the Daytona 500 as the Super Bowl of stock car racing, the Indy 500 NASCAR style. So a ton of people still watch it. But to the true NASCAR fans, we're just like, yeah, it's 500, great way to kick off the year. That's about it. Now, I mean, because it's such a crapshoot these days, you've had, and I think finally with this car, with how much drag it has, how difficult it is to make moves in this car at these tracks, the playoffs, it's all a combination of everything. Winston Cup style points. Now, you would still have people to go for it, go all out for it, But at the end of the day, if you got caught up in a big wreck late and you finished 35th when you were running third, you'll be like, fuck, I just lost 32 points. Year-long season points ahead. That's going to probably hurt me down the road. People would think about that. Drivers would think about that. Nowadays, they don't give a fuck. The purse is as big as it's ever been. Playoffs, you win the race, you're in the playoffs. And if you're a backmarker team, middle road team that really don't feel like you can have a chance to win any other track or any type of race other than super speedways, it's one of your 4 opportunities. You're going to take it. You're going to go all out. You don't give a shit what happens. You'll run through people. You'll make moves. You'll do whatever it takes, definitely towards the end of the race. And I think all that is a combination of what we're getting right now. You can't move up. Cars are just god-awful. You pull out of line, and it's like a parachute. We've talked about that before. I think all that combines, and this is what you get. We've had this for the past couple of years now. Ever since they've gotten accustomed to this car, it's all about saving fuel, spending the least amount of time on pit road, making all your time up on pit road instead of making all your time up out on the racetrack because you can't anymore, or you rarely can. And that's what you get when you get to these big Daytona 500s, Talladegas. Atlanta's a different animal because track position matters a lot. It matters, but you can move up through the field if you have a good car because handling comes into such a big effect, and the track's not as big. It's just it's an easier track to make your way up through the field at Atlanta with this car anyway. So, yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. I thought there were parts of it that I liked. Now, when they were saving fuel, but they were making moves or people backing up, knocking people out of the line, making the wrong move here and there. That was it's at least, hey, this guy's making, this guy got screwed. It's going to take good luck. He's probably not going to make his way back up through the field now. Even though they're kind of saving fuel and kind of bullshitting around, those moves still matter come towards the end of the race. So that was kind of good, I guess. But yeah, overall, it was not a good product, not a good show. And when your biggest race of the year falls flat yet again, you have a surprise winner. Now, like I said, casual fans, people that don't watch NASCAR, they probably thought that last couple laps were insane. They thought Ryan Preece's flip was crazy. Oh my God, what is this? This is insane. And having William Byron come from 8th on the last lap to avoid the wreck and win the race. Oh my God, that was crazy. Where'd he even come from? That's wild. Like, I'm sure there's quite a bit of casual fans or people that really don't watch NASCAR probably enjoyed that finish. But they're not going to stick around because after Atlanta, now you might get on to Atlanta this weekend because it's kind of very similar racing. But when they turn the TV on 2 Sundays from now at Las Vegas and they're not seeing pack race and they're not seeing big old wrecks, they're going to turn the channel. And that's the unfortunate part of having wrecks, races, finishes like this is that it's chaotic. It's not truly a good finish, and the people that think it's good won't stick around for long. So I give it overall, I think I gave it like a 6 out of 10 Sunday. I was drunk too. I'd probably give it a 3. It was just about as bad as last year's. And last year's, maybe Williams deserved it a little bit more because he was on the front row when they were wrecking, coming to the white flag with Ross and Corey and all that stuff. But you could argue last year's, even William, he kind of got lucky with that one too, which I think because he caused the big wreck on the backstretch. Well, he didn't cause it. He got hit from behind by Bowman last year.
The Hendrick cars decided to wreck Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, I'm about to say hit Brad and caused a big wreck. William was able to survive it, and then he goes on to win the race. He didn't cause the wreck this time, but came out of nowhere to win the race. So I'd give it a 3 out of 10.
And I want people to know that, like, obviously I would be happy if Brad won or if
that's what I was going to ask you. If Williams not there, if it's Brad 7th sneaking through to win the race.
Yeah, I'm going to be happy that he won the race. I'm going to be happy for my guy. I'm going to be celebrating because, my guy's won the race. And it's been, 13 years since I've had one of my guys win the 500. And I've had plenty of, guys that were close that I wanted to win. I mean, I was rooting like hell for Eric Almirola when Austin Dillon tried to kill him. I was rooting like hell for Ryan Newman when Ryan Blaney tried to kill him.
Oh, come on.
Brad's been real close several times.
Whose fault was that? Joey's.
Yeah, shit happens, you know.
It's Joey's and his.
But, you know, it's Biffle's been close, like, but you know, it's one of those things like, oh, who was it that got handed the win on Friday night?
Corey
Haim. Like, yeah, Corey Haim got the win on.
He didn't get to celebrate it.
Yeah, he got the win on Friday because somebody got disqualified. Parker got disqualified, but like, he didn't earn it. He didn't earn it. He knows he didn't earn it. And if I'm a Corey Haim fan, yay, like we won. But you know that you didn't earn. You didn't earn it. And
I have the exact. I know what that feeling is like. Yeah. Chase Elliott 3 years ago at Pocono.
Yeah, he didn't earn it. And
I was happy he.
You take
won,
the trophy,
like,
you'll take the money, you'll take the points, but you didn't earn it, and you know you didn't earn it. And William knew he didn't earn it Sunday night, and it's okay if things like that happen every now and again because that's racing and shit like that happens. You'll have a crazy ass finish where somebody will come out of nowhere and win. You'll have a Derek Cope win the 500. You'll have a Trevor Bayne win a 500. But for the most part, this race has been won until recently by the greats.
The best of the best.
The best of the best. You knew in the 90s, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett,
Dale
Sr., when he finally got his in 98, like, you knew those were going to be the guys you had to beat. Now, every now and again, like I said, Derek Cope would win one. Or
Ward
Burton would win one. But even throughout the 2000s, the DEI cars were unstoppable. You had Michael Waltrip won 2. Junior had 1 in that car. Then you had Matt Kenseth was really good. Jeff Gordon got another one.
Kevin Harvick got one.
Harvick, you know, Hall of Fame guy. And I'm not saying Williams not a Hall of Fame guy because he might be. He's not right now, but I mean, if his career continues, he will be. But Ricky Stenhouse isn't, and Cindric isn't. McDowell isn't. You know, these guys, like, it's every year that we're getting somebody this is the only race that these guys are going to, not again, William Byron is not that guy, but
you're not that guy, pal.
But I would not have been surprised to see that could have easily, if Cody Ware and William Byron, because they were beside each other on the last lap, if Cody Ware was in the outside instead of the inside, Cody Ware wins that race.
He's in the playoffs.
Now, he wasn't. He wasn't. So, I mean, if wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. You know, it wasn't. But it could have easily been Cody Ware. It could have easily been Anthony Alfredo.
Well, he wasn't even in the race.
You know what I mean? It could have easily been the 40 car.
Yeah, it could have been Justin.
It could have been Jimmy Johnson, which he came out of nowhere to finish third. Literally didn't see him all night. And
Reddick finished second. Never saw him.
Never saw him. You know, and it could have been anybody, and that's okay. If this is the one time in 10 years where it happens, it means more. Oh, wow. Congratulations to Michael McDowell for coming out of nowhere. Congratulations to Ricky Stenhouse for coming out of nowhere and winning those races. Congratulations to Cindric for coming out of nowhere to win this race. Like, congratulations if it's not every time you go to a restrictor drafting track, that's the finish you get. And I guess we can parlay that into the next segment. This race is losing its importance because it's a crapshoot. It's a roll of the dice. It's what happens in front of me, and do I have the balls to keep my foot to the floor, and am I lucky enough to not get caught up in it? Because that's it. That's all you have to do is just stay in the middle of the pack. You know somebody at the front of field's going to get wrecked, and just pray that you make it through. That's it. And that's not impressive. It's not.